In the last episode, we did our background video and our effects. This episode, we're going to create our first view as its own individual class, because how the system will work is if we go to our reference image, is you'll see the header is consistent and the footer is, but we'll call this our screen view container. So everything in the here gets swapped out. So we'll see some examples. So you see header is the same, but co-op campaign is one view. We go across, multiplayer has its own content, but this is the same. Options, its own content, etc. And you'll see we'll do the exact same for the modal. So after that, we'll define our modal, which will just be like this extra vignette on top, a kind of dark in the background, but we'll have the box, a header, and then the content that will swap in and out. So new game here, notice here, resume game like there, etc. So let's get back into our Unity. And what we want to do is in our assets, create a folder called resources. And this is what we're going to load it in. So inside of resources, create a view class. And we'll create a new UI Toolkit UXML document and call this main menu view. And inside of here, it's going to be empty. And you'll see it's kind of a bit backwards. So it's not actually the size of the game, since we're kind of taking into account the header and footer are the same, but it's around, I believe the number was like, let's just say 156 by 800, kind of smaller. And what we're actually going to do is, now we have this done, we're going to go back to our layout. And now we're kind of messing around. We'll change our layout view. And we're going to rename this to root view, since this is going to be the root that contains everything. So kind of going forward, we'll call it root. So inside of here, root. And what we want to do is actually package our main container. So we're going to rename this. And we're going to call it screen view container, like so. And we're going to place another visual element in here. And we're going to call this main menu container, and then drag our left in here and our right in here, kind of fix it back to be a row instead of a column, fix it to be space between, there we go. And we're going to copy this, right click, copy. Then if we go into resources again and open up our main menu view, click here, paste, and now you'll see we have our individual content. So this is what it will look like, and this is how you kind of separate the whole system. So the whole idea is every single screen and modal is its own self-contained document, so that you can edit how this looks however you want, and you won't touch the actual system. So it's where you kind of clearly separate the front end from the back end. So now we have our main menu container here. What we're going to do is go to our layout, and I'll show you how it kind of works. So we'll do it manually by hand to demonstrate, but we're going to click down here, inside screen, we delete this. Now everything's gone, it's empty, but we'll see here in project, in resources and views, we have our here container here. And if we drag it in here, boom, magically, it is all there. So that's essentially what we're going to do in code. We're going to inject our views inside of our view container. Okay, so now we've got that done. We're going to create our modal container. So we'll keep this as a reference for now. But you'll see here the modal has kind of like a dark vignette on the outside, dark vignette here. The background is darkened. Then we have our kind of body here with a header, and then this is the what will swap out this area. So if we go back into our UI toolkit, we will drag one on here at the bottom so it's above everything. We'll just call this modal container, then give it an absolute fill, like so. And inside of here, we're going to drag our modal background. We're going to drag a modal body. And we're going to drag down on top of everything our modal vignette. And what we can actually do is, since we have the vignette on the background, it's essentially the same thing but stronger. So we can actually go copy this. And can I paste it in here? Can I paste it in there? Copy the right vignette and paste it in. And now we have our left and right. And now we want to give this absolute fill. We want to, oh, that was meant to be in vignette. Place that at the top. Background goes at the top. And drag here into vignette. And then our body is in the middle. And this is absolute fill. And this is absolute fill. So now we want to make our vignette be our row. And space between. And there we go. Except we want to make them now same length sides. So we'll say the width 30% on both sides, or 25 actually is good. 25%. And then we want our background. It kind of darkens the screen, so scroll down to background and we'll set that to be maybe 100. See, it's kind of like very dark. It kind of darkens the whole thing. You'll see this is what we're recreating. So we'll make it maybe 100, that's fine. And actually, I think our vignettes are too wide. I'll change the size of those to be 50, no, 20. Change that to be 20. We want our body, it's kind of like right in the middle, but maybe like 40% tall, but 100% wide. So we'll say our body is width, say width of 100%, height of maybe 40%, or we'll have to set max height 40%, and we want to center it. So we'll go down to here and we'll center content. There we go. Now it's in the middle. It's actually a bit taller. Let's say 45. And we'll give it a background color. We'll sort out our colors to be more standard next episode. But the background color kind of just like that. Let's just stick it there. And then, how do you want to do it? The vignette, we have that. We'll go modal body. Inside of here, you'll see there's like the header container and then the main view block. So we'll add in 2 more visual elements here. We'll call it modal header. And this is going to be our modal view container. And our modal header is going to have a maximum height of, let's just say 10%. Or 15. It's very thin. And then our body is going to have the rest. And you'll see we want the padding to kind of reach in to be, let's just say, let's try 25%. It's a bit too, and we'll say 20%. 20% on both sides. And we'll do the exact same for the view container. We'll put the padding in 20% on both sides. So there we go. So then we have our container there, and you'll see there's like a little subtle line at the bottom. So kind of like what we did before. We'll add a border width. Let's just say there. We'll kind of make it gray, and we'll make it a bit transparent. And there you go. Now we have our subtle line above there. Very good, very good. And then we just want to, so this will swap out, but this is a constant header. So in our header, we'll drag a label inside of the header. We'll get rid of its padding. So just go to margin and padding and click 0 on each. We'll give it the font, we'll just say Modal. There. Let's say the font is Arsenal Bold. Increase the height to, let's just say 40. We'll give it the shadow, which is here, 2 by 2, 100. And then here we'll just justify the content to be center. There we go. So now we've got our little modal, little header, and our view content for when we want to inject stuff into there. So there we go. That'll be it for this episode. I'll make it a bit smaller. It's actually kind of tall now looking at it. Just change this to 40. Oh yeah, that'll be it for now. Next episode, now we've kind of done all that, I will just kind of drop out and see what it looks like with the video. We're going to clean up the styling because the styling is a bit of a mess at the moment. And we want everything to have consistent colors, so we'll just focus on cleaning up our USS and sorting out the inline styling from the UXML. Oh yeah.